So my name's Laura Lewis. I was diagnosed autistic and ADHD at 50. And I just thought I'd share that information with you. I hadn't actually put it in the speech because my son was going to be speaking for most of this, and he's home sick with a chest infection, which is such a shame because he's a cheeky, charismatic and funny young man. He's not a great public speaker, but that's okay. We don't all have to be good at everything. One thing I just wanted to share, so talking about Queensland Small Business Month, about a week into the month, I noticed that there was nothing on social media representing disabled people owning small businesses. So I contacted the newly minted Queensland Small Business Commissioner, Marie Adsed's office, and asked if my son and I could go and meet with her. And it took a bit of sweet talking with her receptionist. And anyway, we secured an appointment. So Clay, his support worker, and myself had a very long meeting with Marie Adsed and her associate Rose, I can't remember her surname. And we had some pretty strong calls to action. So one was, we want representation in social media for small business owners with a disability. There still hasn't been this month, but maybe they need time to plan it. Anyway, two was that we would like to see more support offered to small business owners with a disability accessing grants, because some small businesses like my son's is owned by one person who doesn't pay GST, who has no employees. He didn't qualify for COVID payouts. He doesn't qualify for most grants. Well, I've never seen a grant that he's qualified for. And the third one is we would like to see a business disability reference group formed in Parliament House in Queensland. And the reason I asked for this is because the week before I noticed that the Business Indigenous Reference Group had just wound up and formed their own peak body. So hurrah, like how great is that? Now we need a Chamber of Commerce for disabled business owners with no agency and agenda other than to work together to help each other with all things we struggle with and find challenging. Okay, so I thought I'd just share that because that was exciting. So there's an acknowledgement to country there. I put that up there because I did not want my son stumbling through mispronouncing all the Indigenous very important countries. And from Bullied to business. And if you want to reach Clay, you can contact him through Clay's cleaning service. So that's new, he's rebranded, which is very exciting. Can you change the slide, please? So hi, my name is Clay Lewis, and I would like to thank Mabel for the opportunity I should have a deep voice, to share my story. I am honoured to be speaking among some very fine role models. I'm going to share part of my journey to self-employment and why it works for me. I'm autistic and 20, and as you can see from the previous slide, I enjoy apple ciders. Life has not always been easy. In grade 8, I was bullied. That was the hardest year of my life, and I felt unheard and unsafe. The following year, I started to look for after-school work. And after 2 years of applying for jobs, had still not even been able to obtain one job interview. So Mum and Dad told me my gaming interests were very expensive and I had to get a job. And we talked it over and came up with bin cleaning. So first image was his first day of learning on the job in our rented driveway of a townhouse property we used to live in on the 1st of January 2018. And we all agreed that I was epic. This is Clay's words, remember? I was epic at bin cleaning, and we advertised on Facebook. So the second image is with my very first customer. And then, as you can see, it didn't take long to save enough cash to go shopping at JB Hi-Fi. I think he bought a virtual reality stuff thing. As long as I don't have to do it, I don't care. The fourth image shows why it is so very important that I am self-employed. So Clay's got ADHD too, which is not written here, but there are days he forgets his medication, and that's how he might clean a wheelie bin. So sometimes I need to do things my way. The bins still get cleaned. It is just the process that varies, and I challenge all employers to keep this in mind. So it doesn't matter how the job gets done, as long as you arrive at the job being done. So my motto is when doors close, build your own. I'm going to hand you over to Mum now to talk about the boring bits. Okay, so Clay's journey, we need more than 10 minutes to talk about it because it's long, there's loads of mistakes we made. What I want to talk about is a couple of really simple things you might want to share with your clients if they are wanting to venture into small business. Simple advertising strategies, a before and after photo. Now that was done in 2018, and look at my crap shadow. But it's still got jobs on Facebook, you know? So we do better photos now because we've learned, but it's really important to show off what your business does. And social media is your friend. Now, these are the insights, I think it's called, on Facebook, of just the past month of engagement on his Facebook page. We don't actually ever look at these things because I don't know, I know a lot of businesses do, and it's really important to plot and plan the best time to advertise or put a social media post up. When is your audience online? Know who your audience is and all that kind of stuff. But that information is there, and it can help you with understanding social media. We don't tend to use it very often because we just go with the flow. And I'm not really a big fan of social media anymore. I've got social media hangover. Okay, so with Clay, the very best thing we did was use the SMART acronym with his learning. It was specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bound. We all know this. I think everyone in the room probably knows this, okay? I want to just talk about three of them. Attainable, incremental teaching. I cleaned bins beside him for months. I saw maggots and dirty nappies and like stuff you don't want to know about. And I slowly stepped away as he took on more competency. And one day he even said to me, "Mum, stay in the car. I want to go knock on the door and tell the customer we're here." And he eventually made myself redundant. Yay. So yeah, it was person-led small chunks. We let Clay decide the learning and the pace. And person-led choice of responsibilities. He didn't have to talk to a customer or do anything like that until he was ready to do it. We never suggested it to him. He made the choice, and he just made the decision to go ahead with that. Relevant. This is something I think schools should do better as well. A lot of our son's a really smart son. That's his dad, by the way. He's really smart. He knows so much, and he just is so underestimated. But so much stuff that is taught in school is irrelevant to what is important to him in life. So we kept training on task to what is relevant to him and his skills. We used motivation and interests for him, like, do you want to go to Supercars, mate? It was a bit of bribery maybe, but it worked. So he's a mad Supercars fan. And we've always been very transparent with Clay. He's been the decision maker, always. So Success orientated, confidence is key. That picture you saw of him on the slide of from Bullied to business owner, he was a very different young man at 13. Now, the 20-year-old he is today, he'll come home from working a shift of bin cleaning and he has a support worker with him all the time, and he'll come in with a 6-pack of ciders because he lives life in accordance to his terms, and all of that is done with an element of pain because getting him to do any kind of NDIS related conversations is painful. Address mistakes easily and also allow mistakes to occur and learn from them. Now these are really important, these two, and I probably should have changed the order. You can't learn until you make mistakes, and you have to let, if you're a parent or a provider helping someone, sometimes you have to step back and let them make that mistake, because running around and putting bubble wrap over everything means they're not going to learn. They're not going to learn accountability. They're not going to learn responsibility. Clay left a hose on in someone's backyard and it flooded. And oh my Lord, we are just so grateful that customer was very gracious and accepted, a very firm apology and also a free bin clean. And he's never done that since. So there's loads more I could share, but really I just wanted to concentrate on a couple of key points. And those two ladders are my favourite image. Okay? You can get to the same destination by taking easy, small steps, or will you make it really difficult with less steps, but it's impossible to reach the rungs. So thank you very much for listening. I'll be hanging around if you have any questions. I'm the contact person for his business because he doesn't answer his phone ever. And he doesn't look at his emails either. So I'm still doing a lot. Thank you.